You're right guys, Shay here, Uneven Mounts, hope you guys are well. So I want to do a video on Jonny Bairstow's latest comments that he made a few days ago in kind of cross-national media. I'll just read out what he was talking about. He's basically saying he doesn't have a point to prove as he's about to, obviously, well, he's in Sri Lanka now, as he was about to embark on the tour, in Sri Lanka. You're right guys, Shay here, Uneven Mounts, hope you guys are well. So I just want to do a video on Jonny Bairstow's comments on the fact that he feels like he doesn't have a point to prove on the in the ongoing tour of Sri Lanka. Obviously he did very well 2.5 years ago, or 2.5 years ago when he was there last. He's got 100 and about to get 3, he's got a 50 as well I believe. And we'll get into that a little bit in terms of his performances at 3. Anyway, so he's talked here, I just want to read out a few of his comments. So, I quote, "I genuinely think that my game is in the best place it has been," Bairstow said. "I believe I can make a huge contribution to England in the Test arena. I proved it in the past." What he says. And then goes to talk about the fact that he's likely to play as a specialist batsman, with Josh Butler having established himself as the first choice wicket keeper. Bairstow said, "People keep saying points to prove, this, that and the other. I've answered a lot of the questions in the past. Now it's time for me to enjoy going to Test series and relish the opportunity." The most recent of Bairstow's 6 Test 100s came in Sri Lanka in 2018, 2 and a bit years ago, when he was employed number 3. The role is most likely to fill this time around. So yeah, we'll get into that in a bit as well. To go out there, so a quote, "To go out there and bat at 3 will be great. If that's the case, bring it on." Anyway. Yeah, no, it goes into about Jack Leach. But anyway, that's pretty much it. So anyway, where do I start? I mean, I think in one of the other articles that it mentions, I think you might have heard in the Wisdom podcast about the fact that these comments are in light of, what Matt Pry did as well. If we look at like Matt Pry, because I'm sure I've seen an article as well where it talks about him as the fact that his stats match up to Pry's as a keeper. So I thought I'd get into that a little bit. The fact is, I mean, Jonny Bairstow is he's always, chest out. I'm not sure he just doesn't care, or he's sick of it now. Obviously, he's been around a long time. It was 10 years. Actually, it has been 10 years now in the international game, pretty much. I mean, he played, we know 13-14 series, but he played in 2012, didn't he, against South Africa? I think that's when he might have made his debut. Let's quickly check that. Yeah, Lord's, it was a series before. At Lord's in 2012, he made his Test debut, and made his T20 debut in 2011. That's when England played. They played the games late that year, 2011, like the year back in September. Not late anymore, is it? But then it was. And he played Bairstow, Butler, and Ben Stokes, all like 21-year-olds. And he blooded all 3 pretty much in that same series. Anyway, but anyway, he's been around for 9 years now in Test arena, almost. Where do I start with this? I mean, Jonny Bairstow is very kind of, for me, he polarised opinion. I appreciate he plays with a lot of passion, but he's always whining. It seems to me he's quite an arrogant character. I just don't see that he has I don't see where he gets it from, to be honest with you, when it comes to, the Test arena, because I just don't think he's particularly that good, to be honest, when it comes to batting in the Test arena. I think he has serious flaws technique. His bat lift is too high at times. He leaves gaps between bat and pad so many times. I mean, the amount of times I've seen this guy being bowled, it's a joke. Really good Test batsmen should not be getting bowled on a regular basis like he does. It's a fact. That is a fact. If you go back to history of time, high quality Test batsmen do not get bowled that often. Go check for yourself. If you dispute it, leave in the comment section. So yeah, if we look at Jonny Bairstow and kind of him comparing himself with Matt Pryor, I just want to delve into Matt Pryor's career just very quickly. So he batted at 7 the majority of his career, 82 innings, 400s, 20 50s, highest 126 not out, and an average of almost 40.99. Batted 18 times at 6, 105 50s, average almost 43, 42.81. Batted 22 times at number 8. 200s, 350s, top score of 118 with an average of 36.47. It's a respectable average was very much a keeper batsman. He was a big part, obviously, of England's team on Andy Flower and their run to number 1. And his career average is 40.19. But he was very much a keeper batsman. So, Jonny Bairstow, he batted 6 times number 3. Average of 38.83. Obviously, a lot of those runs scored against Sri Lanka 2 years ago in the last tour we had there. Top score of 110. And then he's batted at 5, 6, and 7. Pretty much the same amount of times. I mean, 31 innings at 5. He's averaged 27.74. It's not good enough. 39 innings at number 6. 167 out his top score, average of 37, much more respectable. And then 42 innings, he's batted the most for England at 7. So yeah, there are 300, 650s, a top score of 150 not out. 128 runs at 38.59. So his career average in total, even with obviously the good performances, because his highest average has been at 3. Only batted 6 times, but his highest average at 3. Otherwise, he's batted, down the order, 5, 6, and 7. The most at 7. He's averaging 34.74, some way short of Matt Prior's 40.19. The thing is, Jonny Bairstow, he's been shunted up and down the order a fair bit, but that's down to a lot down to himself as well, down to his lack of form at times, trying to fit him in. He basically reinvented himself when he was dropped as a keeper batsman because he knew that was where to get into the side. So even if you compare him with Matt Prior, he's still below Matt Prior, in terms of his return. Matt Prior said before, 7 averaged 41, and at 6 he averaged 43 almost. And then you look at Jonny Bairstow, he averaged 37 at 6 and 38 at 7. It's below Matt Prior. His average is somewhere low, 5 runs less than Matt Prior, and he played very similar amount of Test matches. Bairstow has played 70 matches. And Matt Prior retired on 79 Test matches. So Jonny Bairstow's running out of excuses. He can give all the bravado, all the bullshit he wants. The reality is he's underperformed as a batsman. He's also should remember that he's a batsman first, keeper second. Matt Prior was always a keeper batsman. That's what he was, a keeper batsman. Where Jonny Bairstow is a batsman come keeper. And the reason why he works on his keeping skills was to get into the team. He came in as a batsman. He came into the England team as a batsman, not as a keeper. That was never the intention for him. So you need to remember that. This man needs to deliver. He's 32 this year. His numbers are not good enough. He's probably going to bat 3 because Root doesn't want to go 3, as we know that. Obviously, with no Burns, because he's still at home because of his birth of his first child. Crawley will open with Sibley, Bairstow at 3, Root at 4. Lawrence looks like he's going to make his debut at 5. And then we're going to have, obviously, Buller at 6, and then probably Wokes, probably going to be Sam Curran for the first test at 7. So, that team, it looks fairly solid, but it's still a little bit brittle. Obviously, you've got no Stokes, you've got no Pope, and you've got no Burns. So, 3 of your mainstays that we had, last summer for England at home, they're gone. They're not in the team. Dan Lawrence is debutant. Butler is at 6 this time. You've got the all-rounder at 7. You've got Crawley and Sibley obviously opening up, and you've got Root at 4 in the middle, kind of like glue at 4. It looks okay, but then Jonny Bairstow, to me, is a big question mark. I'd actually back Lawrence to potentially outperform Jonny Bairstow in the series. I wouldn't be surprised. Jonny Bairstow needs to simply get off his high horse and realise that he's fucking underachieved for England. 34 average as a batsman is not good enough, and you batted down the order. You are meant to be a top order batsman, and you played the majority of innings at 6 and 7. So why haven't you delivered? You see, you need to look around and be a bit more realistic, mate. Like, you haven't delivered. So you're not. For me, there's no way this guy is a Test match number 3. No fucking chance. This guy's a Test match number 3 long term. No way. That, to me, that spot is just being kept warm for either a Crawley when Burns gets back or an Ollie Pope. That's it. But let's see if we can deliver. We're going to need him to deliver. Because as I said before, that top 7, there is a bit of fragility there. Crawley's never been in play in Sri Lanka, not for England. Same with Sibley. Lawrence is making his Test debut. You've got the all-rounder at 7. You see, the Root's the one there. He needs to deliver Root. He needs to have a much better year than he did last year. But anyway, don't want to go into Joe Root. Spot Jonny Bairstow here. The fact is, Jonny Bairstow hasn't delivered for England for too long. His last Test century, as I mentioned before, was 2 and a bit years ago. The last tour Sri Lanka. Hopefully, he'll bring up some good memories so he can score again. He's going to need to, because these people, as I mentioned before, Burns has come back in the team. So is Pope, and so is Stokes. Pope's in the squad. He may run in that warm-up game. Why not Pope? But if you're going to consider bringing in one of Parkinson, Verdi, or Mason Crane into the squad and maybe the team, then why not bring in Ollie Pope as a reserve batsman? He's obviously can play. I know he had the shoulder injury, but he clearly can play again. So anyway, it's only 2 Test match series. I think Bairstow will play both games, but he's deliver. There's a massive year of Test cricket. Sri Lanka, then India, 4 tests, possibly New Zealand at home, 2 tests. Then we've got India for 5 tests at home. Then there's the Ashes. Massive year of cricket. 2021 is an unbelievably massive year of cricket for England. You also got the World Cup in there as well. The World Test Championship, we're not going to make the final, I don't think. It's between New Zealand, India and Australia. Fine. And then you've got the Ashes down under. This is what, as a professional cricketer for England, you should be salivating over. Time to make your mark, guys. Jonny Bairstow, you're 32 September. You're 32 years old, mate. There's nowhere more to hide. You need to deliver. Simple as that. You have got to deliver. Anyway, I'm leaving it there. Let's see what he does. I'll be doing, obviously, commentaries on the test anyway. So yeah. Anyway, let's leave it there. I just want to do a little video because I just was a bit shocked, to be honest with you, by his comments. He can be so kind of brazen about it when he's sitting on these stats. I don't see where it comes from. Anyway, I'll leave it there, guys. If you enjoy the content, please do like, comment, and subscribe. Leave me a comment. What do you think? Think I'm being a bit too harsh on Bairstow? Let me know. Let me know in the comment section if I am. No problem. I'll take it. I'll happily debate with anyone who wants to have a debate out there. Keep it friendly. Keep it clean. It's all good. All good. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Subscribe to the channel, guys. I really appreciate it. And hopefully I will see you on the next one. Cheers.